Hello and yeah, welcome back to the van build. So today is quite an exciting day. I've got a lot of bits and bobs that I need to do. Obviously in the last episode you saw that I had some random bits and pieces here and there, but it's kind of coming together a little bit more now. So I have lots of plans with this episode, as per usual. We'll see how many of those plans actually get done, but I'm thinking it will soon be time to clad, so I'm very excited for that. One of the first things I'll have to do today is finish off the boxing of the wheel arches. So I have one on this side with the water tank, so it's a little bit more complicated, but still simple stuff. And the other one is just plain and simple. And then after that, I need to think about insulating the rest of the van, looking at getting the solar panel on the roof. Everything's prepped and ready for that. It just needs to go on. Potentially be putting the kitchen cabinets in. We have lots of space. We need to plan what kitchen cabinets we want before actually installing them. And then after that, it could be things like putting the walls in. There's not a specific order to how things need to go at the moment, so it's open to anything really. So I will let you know how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated every step of the way. I'll show you the highs, the lows, and everything in between. So stick around for the episode, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. As I said, the first thing to do is box in this wheel arch and this one as well. So I'm going to crack on and kind of get started. This one first, maybe adding a batten along the bottom there just to give it some extra support and hold those pieces in place, because they need to be right at the corners on that side and on this side. So yeah, I'll show you what it's like in a little bit. All I need to do now is adjust it and fine tune it to be in the absolute perfect position. And then at that point I can screw into the floor. A little bit nervous because obviously I've just put the flooring down. So if I get the wrong place, it could be that I need to redo the floor, but it's hard to go that wrong. So let's get that fixed down, and then I'll show you once I've got it all fixed and in that place. There we go. So I have added that wheel arch in, and that is now fixed to the floor and to the wall. And the same with this side. You can see it looks pretty good. I'm happy with how it went. So this is an example of where the pipe will go. And essentially what it will be is I will have a piece of ply that goes down the side, along the front and down on this side, as well as having on top. This will then be hinged so you can access the fill-up point, but it will be completely concealed. If you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it was there. I'm just waiting before I plywood it because my parents were talking about maybe getting some decorative ply to put straight on there, so that'll just take away some of the weight and also take away some of the extra time. So I might as well wait. But for now, this is how it's looking and I'm happy with it. I need to look at getting the adapters, and then I could potentially get the pump installed soon. And then it means that when this unit comes, it can have the sink straight away and then the fridge will go there. But anyway, this one will be plywood, so I can do that at any point, but I'm thinking I might just wait a little bit longer just in case they do decide they want that one as decorative as well anyway. I don't think you will see it because it'll be in the back of the cupboards, but I guess if it ties together a little bit, it'll just make it a little bit nicer. And I guess also it'll be easy to clean if it is some sort of decorative kind of plastic vinyl. So I might wait a little bit on that one and decide at a future point whether I actually do plywood or not. Just thought I'd get it out to have a look how this toilet's going to look with everything in this little room. So like I said, that's going to be boxed off on that edge there, and it's around about where that door is that wall's going to be, so I'll make it central to the space. But that's looking quite good. It's a good amount of space, but will also mean with the kitchen cabinets to about here gives you a good amount to actually get in and out the van. Another great feature is the fact that you can fill up the water from here, but you can also empty the grey waste and also fill up the flush. So it all should hopefully come together and it'll all work quite nicely. As you can see, I've just ply boxed in that wheel arch now. I decided to go ahead with it because it will be behind the cupboards anyway. And I've also done this little windowsill as well. It does need to be carpeted because as you can see, all the window stuff is carpeted, but that's currently just placed in there, ready for when I get the carpet cut and do that. I think it's looking good, and once it has some metal trim around the outside, it'll then have some magnets that go onto it to have a blind. All I need to do now is just fill this box up with insulation, and then I'm ready to screw the top on, that it's just there. I've also gone ahead and added this extra piece above the water tank. As you can see, the plan with this is that from the outside, you'll be able to reach, there'll be a door here and you can reach your hand in to fill the water tank. For the inside, it means that it's all one level, and there will be some like a shelf going all the way along here. The great thing about having that shelf on top is I planned this to be plywood kind of boxed in, and the idea is then that that shelf will lift up and have some secret storage in this place, so you could put, you know, laptops, iPads, passports, money, things like that. Just that extra step to hide things can obviously make a big difference if you don't get robbed. If someone gets in the van, that's probably not the first place they would look. They'd eventually find it if they were looking hard enough, but it's just a little bit safer to keep them in there in a bit of like a hidden storage. So I'm excited to get on with that. All I need to do is cut those pieces of ply, like I said. And then on the outside, we're not sure what it's going to be yet. We're trying to find some sort of furniture board that will be quite nice on the bottom half of the bathroom. And then the rest of it is going to be cladding with that painted ply that will all be grey on all four walls. So quite exciting. Just need to get around to doing it. So it's been a few days. However, I have been doing some odd bits and bobs here and there just to get me ready to start cladding the inside. One of them was creating this bit of trim that has an indent down there. That then means that this window blind can come all the way down to completely black out the light and come back up easily. Perfect. And the other thing I have done is what I said I would do, and that is carpet the window trims. So they are looking great. And like I said, once you get that angle on there, it'll look perfect. So what I've also done today is just boxed in up here. I think this would have been quite difficult. So my plan is that I will use cladding on it, but I'm just going to stick it instead of pinning it because I don't have as many battens like the walls over here. And then just before I do clad everything, I've pulled all the wires through for various things just to make sure I don't pin them all behind, because otherwise that would be a bit of a nightmare having to take it down just to put some wires through. So I've pulled them through, ready to go. So there's just another few little bits and bobs. You know, I do need to get the solar panel, get the wire going through that I do have, so I could do that soon. And then I am going to get the cladding from Robert Price. And yeah, it's going to be quite good to see all the cladding go up, and it's really going to convert the space quickly to feel like a camper van. I just thought I forgot to show you guys this bit as well. It just sticks out a little bit too much for the cladding there. It just sticks out a little bit too much, as you can see there, for the batten. So it means that I've just done carpet on it and then I can batten around it. And you will have this black spot. However, it will kind of tie in with the rest of the van, having the black roof, the black windows, the black doors, all things like that. So yeah, I will let you know how it goes, and hopefully we will get the cladding bought and install it soon. Okay, so I've kind of started the countdown to actually getting the cladding up now. I've got a couple more jobs left to do. One of them is I'm currently just putting this wire up that extends the wires for the solar panel. Obviously they can't reach all the way from the roof, get down to the battery. So I've got a 3 meter long 6mm cable. So that will take all of the electricity from the panel down to the battery to let it charge. So I've got that left to do. I've got some more little bits of carpeting just because I didn't quite go far enough on that one. And there's a couple other bits and bobs. I'll update you as they kind of come in. But yeah, there's a few bits left to do before I start cladding. But I'm really excited to get cladding. Obviously, everything's prepped and ready to go. So once I get the cladding in, I think it's going to completely transform the space, because at the moment it's very much the bones, the basics. You know, you've got cladding, insulation, wires, everything everywhere. So the second that I can get some cladding in, then it will cover everything up and it'll look really nice. So I can't wait to get it in. Let's see how it goes. So as I said, that is the electrical wires extended and taken up into the gland. So those will then connect to the solar panel wires, and it just means that they're gonna take all the electricity down to the batteries and the extra battery. So the orientation I have to change slightly to try and make sure that it is gonna fit in this space and not make it too long. I was hoping actually to have the batteries next to each other like that, because they're about 60 centimeters from end to end. However, these are really annoying and inconvenient. If they do sell some of them where they stack on top of each other and they just come straight out at 90-degree angle. But these are around about 15 to 20 centimeters longer. So it means that it's way too far. 80 centimeters is pretty much to the halfway point in the van. And that's also about to there. So it means that there's no space to get in and out. And the majority of it will just be seats then. So they're going to have to be, well, the orientation I still need to figure out. I think this is quite good. Might do something else. But this just means that they're going to, stay. This just means that they aren't going to stick out too far, because obviously the seat comes all the way back along here. but we do have a bit of dead space there. And then the diesel heater will be on this side, so that's not too bad. The only thing that I did have to do is buy a longer cable to go from there to there. I bought a meter cable, but it was too short, so I need to get another cable for that section. But yeah, we're getting there bit by bit. I'm now tackling the job of actually putting the solar panel up, so that's quite exciting, just because that's then ticked off, and that's the electrical system actually complete. Just need to wire things on the end, so that's fine. It's just the majority of it is done, and I know what I'm doing easily with the rest of it. Also, just to let you know, it has got down to -4 in the UK on Thursday. We were at -2 this morning, so I have brought the heater in. At the moment, it's not too bad because it's around about, 2 o'clock. So it's pretty warm by this point in time. I say pretty warm, it's like 6 degrees. Actually, it'll say there. We are currently on 7 degrees. However, when I'm back out here tomorrow morning doing some cladding, I'm thinking I might put this on just for an hour or two, warm up this space, otherwise it will be freezing. And then, yeah, I will be looking at doing the cladding on this side first, just to kind of get the idea of how it's going. This side's a little bit easier. And then I need to do this side as well. The problem being that I don't have any lengths that are 3.6 meters long. They're only 2.4, so for this section here and this section along here, there will be a point where it will stop and then continue. I'm thinking I might have that in line with the window, or maybe just off, and somehow I will then create a seam and just cover it up. But that's a problem for another time. I'm just going to get the solar panel up and we'll go from there with this side. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, a monumental moment. We have got the first piece of cladding up in place. So that's pinned using some 18mm pins, I think. So it's on there nice and solid. I might use some slightly longer ones, but actually that seems like it's on there okay, so it might not be worth it. So I'm going to continue doing this side of the wall because this is all ready to be cladded. However, this side, obviously you can see it's missing insulation and a few other things. Also, I need to, like I said, that solar panel, I need to sort out the gland. I thought I could use the existing MC4 connectors. Turns out that these actually don't undo, so I'm going to have to buy some new ones that I've done on Amazon already. So they will be coming tomorrow, so I can cut these off, rewire the new ones. So then it means that I can fit it through the gland. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing a bit of cladding and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so as I said, I have done some of the cladding. Excuse the fact that I've kind of lost my voice a little bit. It's going in and out, but you can see that I've done the cladding behind me, so I've got my holes cut out for things like the plugs. I'm quite happy with how it looks. I've stuck with some nice curves to make sure it all ties in, and I've got another one up in the top here. Now, I wouldn't have had this ideally. The way the van is actually built, it has quite a sharp curve, so I can't really do anything about that. But a lot of it will be covered because the wall goes across there. But anyway, as I said, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks good. And once it's painted, it'll look lovely. I've started doing the same on the other side. You can see I've started with this bottom section. I was hoping to get some 3.6 meter lengths. However, I can't get 3.6. The longest I can get is 2.4. So here and up here, there will be some joins, but I'm happy with that. Once you put a little bit of polyfiller in it, you can't really see them anyway. But you can see that I have just made sure to get that little cutout in the right place, and yeah, it looks good. So I'm going to carry on doing a bit more cladding. I've sorted these wires a little bit just so I can start doing the cladding on this side as well, and just do the first couple layers. They're nice and easy, and I can still then reach for the insulation, and then I need to actually insulate the rest of this section of the van. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. I'll show you how it goes, and then at some point I do also need to tackle the cab bulkhead, so we'll do that soon. Another cold day today, so I have just finished the insulation, so this side is ready to go with the cladding. By the way, yes, my voice has got worse. I think it was from the rugby. I watched Wales versus Japan. Well done, Wales. We did it. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, insulation's done, so I will start cladding now on the other side. I'm going to start cladding on that side like I have on this side. Brain's not braining this morning. So going to crack on with some cladding. Like I said, I've done those first two bits, so carry on down there and we're going to see how it goes. You can see this bundle of wires. This is where a lot of the light switches is going to be. So that's the main switch. That will have 3 two-way switches. So it means that it does above the kitchen, above the bed and below the bed. So a lot of wires going to there. But also you've got the DC-DC control wires. What am I doing today? DC-DC? No. You've got the diesel heater control wires. So it means the display will just be next to it. And on the other side, you've got one more wire, and that's for a USB
USB-C and USB-A charger that's going to go in the kitchen, just so you can charge your phone pretty much everywhere in the van. I was counting out the other day how many we've got, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 7 in total. That's pretty mental, but the idea is no matter where you are, you've got electric, and I'd rather have too many than too little because you can't easily add any in future, but you never really will want to take them away, and if you do want to, you can quite easily. So I'm going to crack on, get some of that cladding done. I need to figure out some little things with the contours of the van, kind of up in this section, maybe over here as well, but it's just kind of see how it goes, start from the bottom, work my way up, and figure it out as I go along. So I'll keep you guys posted and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so as you can see, that wall is looking really good now. I've done most of the cladding. You can see on this side, I've done all of it, all the way up until it gets to the bed mount and the angle of the van. But on this side, I am missing that top final piece, but I will do that very soon. I just wanted to show you guys now before I sign out for the video. So thank you for watching. I'm glad that I got this done. I haven't done the front wall. Everything that I do in this van is just that one step closer. And because it's such a small space, whenever you do things, it feels like it transforms very quickly. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you like this one. Leave a like, comment, share it, do whatever, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.